Hello, everyone. It's Charlton. Please subscribe to my channel. Tap the notification bell. I'd appreciate it majorly. So, the two missing kids, the two missing Idaho kids, Joshua J.J. Vallow, Tylee Ryan, who remain missing, Lori Vallow, and Chad Daybell, who their whereabouts remains unknown as well. I'm not reviewing everything. There's so much. It's amazing the amount of material on this stuff, in various places. So, I mean, I really don't know. I mean, these are just, I just have a few theories. My theories are completely different than everybody else's. I haven't heard anybody talking about, what I'm suggesting, but but you know how this, human beings, we have a tendency that we want to be right. There's something about being right, you feel superior or something. So once you think of something, you lock into it and you're invested in it, and so you almost don't want to believe the things that prove you that you're wrong. But nothing's proved that I'm wrong so far, and if it did, I'll be wrong. I'm admitting that I'm a human being. So my thought, I had this suspicion that this is about life insurance, and it's about collecting on life insurance when you wouldn't normally be able to collect on life insurance if because you had some kind of terminal illness or something like that you knew ahead of time, something. And so I had this idea that these deaths, Tammy Daybell, Charles Vallow, involve that somehow. Okay, so, and that all these other little things, all these other instances that revolve this, including, now Alex Cox is dead, who is the person who, shot Charles Vallow, supposedly in self-defense. Alex Cox is Lori Vallow's brother. He's now dead. He died on December 12th, the day after Tammy Daybell's body was exhumed. I can't explain that. I mean, I can't explain much of this stuff. But some of these other things, these goofy other things that have happened as well. The guy that showed up at Tammy Daybell's home just as she's pulling into her front driveway and getting groceries out of her car with a ski mask. And according, supposedly, what she thought was a paint pellet gun, that, and I think the shooting attempt on the nephew, and he was in his driveway as well, actually, and supposedly, somebody with a silencer shot out his window, and missed his head by inches. I think you could actually visibly see the gun with a silencer, according to reports. And somehow they determined that whoever that was, they were in a Jeep that was registered to Charles Vallow, but well after he was dead, and we could make a number of different assumptions of who was driving that car, if in fact that account is correct. But that's, I think, the police report, investigated it somehow and found out that the gunshots came from a Jeep that was registered to him. The incident happened on October 2nd, I believe, and that's several months after Charles Vallow was killed on July 11th. But I thought these other crimes, these other things, these other instances, I don't know, to me seemed like, I don't know, sort of like, I don't know, odd, okay, and not real, kind of. They seemed like fake to me, like fake crimes set up to sort of hide another crime. Anyway, so the latest report I saw on this is that Charles Vallow, his former attorneys that were representing him, their family law attorneys, in his divorce, and when he was actively seeking a divorce or filing divorce paperwork against Lori Vallow, in February 2019, and they spoke to a couple of them. According to them, he told them that he believed his wife was trying to kill him, and that I think his wife and brother-in-law were gonna try to kill him. So if anything happened to him, they were responsible for it. And I'll play this a little bit clip of that. I'm just going to cruise through a number of different things. I'm not necessarily I'm not making a case here. It's impossible, man. It's crazy. But I do feel like there's something else going on here besides. I don't believe that it's point blank murder and that somebody's. I think it's what I suspect. I mean, I think this is about life insurance and not like cold blooded premeditated murder. So the attorneys, they sit down with this interview and they tell them that, what I just said. Let me play that.
Charles Vallow planned to divorce her. Charles' former attorneys say he feared for his life.
He said, I want to make sure that everyone knows that if something happens to me, Lori and Alex did it.
Last July, Charles came to pick up JJ and Chandler, but then a fight started with
one question I have is, did he tell the authorities that? And I don't know. I mean, I assume he did, but if he did tell the authorities that, why did they rule it self-defense, And if he didn't tell the authorities that, why is he telling the authorities that now only after the individual who supposedly shot him in self-defense is now dead, okay, who, it can't be questioned. So that was one thing that I just, and the fact that, ultimately, and this is the thing, ultimately, Charles Vallow did not go through with the divorce. He dismissed it himself. So all this stuff, and you read these timelines of events that's going on, and it just sounds like complete chaos, absolute chaos in this marriage that's just absolutely dysfunctional, or at least appears that way. In the end, he dismisses his own, divorce suit that he's bringing forward, and he withdraws it and remains married to her. So, and I thought that might be a factor with regards to, I don't know, life insurance. I don't know if, you have to be married in order to, it doesn't necessarily have to be that way, but most, a lot of times you buy life insurance for your spouse and kids, but he remained married to her. So, if he thought she was going to kill him, I don't know. That he's the one who decided not to go through with the divorce. So there was that as well. This timeline, which is very good, and there's another one over at Web Sloop that's even more detailed, which is very good too. And the person who put the effort in to put that together is it's a lot. It's tons. I'll try to link all this stuff in the description. This one's very good too, and I'll come back to that in a second. There's so much in here that I'm not going to review, but the one thing I wanted to point out is that I'll just to say it now while I'm on it, is that Alex Cox, Lori's brother, the person who allegedly shot and killed Charles Vallow twice in the chest, supposedly in self-defense after a physical altercation. Supposedly Charles Vallow came at him with a bat and he got a gun and then he came at him with a bat or whatever, and he shot him twice in the chest with the gun. And it's, everyone knows he also himself died, and we don't even know the circumstances of his death, Alex Cox. We don't know how he died, but he supposedly he died on the 12th, December 12th, the day after Tammy Daybell's body was exhumed, but also in addition to that, he himself got married right after, or very soon after, all this happened. So, and on November 29th, it's very easy to search marriage records at the Clark County, in Las Vegas, which Las Vegas is part of Clark County. But Alex Cox got married November 29th, 2019 to a woman, Zulema Passanez. And, she had a social media presence. I'm not going to focus too much on that. Although I kind of think the authorities want to speak to her too, and they probably already have. I don't know. Her whereabouts, I don't know, but she had a social media presence that it's pretty much been taken down and stuff by her, it seems. But in any event, he got married November 29th. That's 2 weeks before he was killed, And come back to the life insurance thing. I don't know. Everyone seems to be getting married. I don't know. That's pretty weird. It's pretty weird that he dies the day after Tammy Daybell's body's exhumed, and 2 weeks before he dies, he got married, and then 2 weeks after Tammy Daybell dies, Chad Daybell was marrying Lori Vallow, Alex's brother. And I just don't think this is flat out like cold-blooded murder, people, marrying and killing somebody. I think this is about life insurance. That's what I think. It's just a theory, and I have no idea. So, but another thing, one of the things here's, and this is from Chad Daybell, or not Chad Daybell. It's not Chad. It's Charles Vallow. This is from his obituary. And that's JJ right there. And I don't know how old he is there. But I'm guessing 3 years old, and he's supposed to be 7 right now. So this is like 2015, 2016, 2015. I don't know, 3-4 years ago. If he's 7, it's 4 years ago probably, something like that. And people age, but still, nonetheless. Charles Vallow went from that, and he was an athlete. He was a good athlete. He was a pitcher, a star pitcher in college. I think he had a scholarship and even played like semi-pro ball. Went from that to that in like 4 years. And, I don't know. We all age. We all, a lot of guys, when they get to a certain point, they just shave their head. But, it's I don't know. It's a lot for 4 years or so. And I don't need to repeat myself over and over. Anyways, I just, I was looking at, the LinkedIn account of Charles Vallow, who by all appearances was fairly successful, a successful professional business, hardworking person, and that's what his sister claims, that he was well off. And he was a financial professional, finance, retirement, insurance, okay, life insurance, but and just financial planning, retirement planning, which includes that. It just is, I used to work in financial services for a short period of time. In any event, when you, this is actually his LinkedIn account when you're not logged in. When you are logged in, his picture's gone. And I'm not absolutely sure about how LinkedIn works or all social media, even though I have a fair amount. I spend a ton of time on my phone and computer, and I've been working on computers for some time, but it's all just through observation and experience. I don't have any much knowledge of code and stuff like that. It's very, very little HTML, a little bit, I can look at some stuff and dig deep somewhat, whatever. But his picture is gone in the logged on version. It's all, and I don't know if that means somebody went into his account after he was dead, and took down his own picture or not. There's Chad Daybell's right there. And you can see this is the not logged in version of, and you see his picture is there too. But same thing, when you go to it logged in, his picture is gone. Okay, so he's alive. It's okay. He could have gone into his own account and taken down his own picture. He's still alive. But somebody went into this account, maybe, and took down took down that picture, and that's just, that's just where you end up if you haven't logged into LinkedIn yet and you click his, LinkedIn page from Google. In any event, when I was just looking at his activities, one post that I saw definitely, I was pretty stunned to read it. And like I said, this guy's a working professional for sure. And I think he had, in addition to this business, he just had a vast knowledge of business and so forth. And actually, he's responding to some goofy post about, your work life and you should always go home on time or something like that. That actually was written, I think it was written back in like 2016 originally. But his post is from a year ago. But it's hard to figure out exactly when that year is. Because that could be, I don't know, it's just LinkedIn's, how they determine a year could be, sometime, well, it wouldn't be 12 months, but the long story short is I'm pretty sure I figured out when this was posted. Because when you look at a response to it, a reply to it, and you go to that person's page, and you go to that person's activity and you see their reply to his comment here, that's just beneath another story on that person's activity page that's in December 17th, 2018. So basically, this comment, I'm almost certain, was written in December 2018. Okay, December 2018. In fact, he references Christmas, all right, Christmas shopping. He says, and this is sort of work-related and, quality of life kind of stuff. I agree, but most of these points and these suggestions are obviously for someone who doesn't own their own business. I do, and I'm speaking only for myself, etc. He goes on. And in the end, he says, we all have plenty of time for our home life, and it is a priority. But the joy I get from my business is felt by all my family, and this is the key right here. So I'll sign off now as my bride and I have some serious Christmas shopping to do. And that's the key, that last sentence. So I'll sign off now as my bride and I have some serious Christmas shopping to do. Okay? So he's saying he's going to sign off because him and his bride have some serious Christmas shopping to do in December of 2018. And that's a month, that's a month before filing paperwork, divorce paperwork with Lori Vallow, his wife, his wife. So that I do not understand at all. There could be another woman, and it's not like I'm trying to pry into this man's life. That's not the point. I'm just saying that's definitely another oddity to this whole thing, so, but I mean, he's going through all these, and there's crazy stuff in this divorce documents. Many people have already talked about it. I'm not reviewing it again, about claiming Lori Vallow is threatening him and threatening to murder him, and that she's, ordained by God or something, and that the end of the world is coming, and if he tries to intervene, she'll kill him, something like that. This is the things he filed in paperwork. In fact, there's in court documents, he actually even, I think, talked to a health professional institution that actually, put out an order, requesting that I think it's the Gilbert police, I'm not even positive, detain her and bring her in for a hold for 72 hours. And that petition was granted, because of whatever he told that mental health institution. But the petition expired. We're sort of getting off topic. I'm just saying that here he is referencing, going shopping with his bride in December 2018, a month or so before he's filing these court documents, making these crazy claims about Lori Vallow, who eventually he withdraws, and does not go through with the divorce on, and remains married to until he dies. And that's pretty much the extent of it. That's the story there. I think this is, I don't know. I just don't see how it's possible that there's one person killing all these people, and then maybe killing off one person like the brother to clean it all up. I don't believe that. I think this is about life insurance and getting paid on life insurance when you otherwise wouldn't get paid because of, pre-existing health conditions, terminal illnesses, whatever. And there's a couple other things too, believe me, but I'm not, saying everything, because for obvious reasons. So that's the story there, dude. That's the story there. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below. I'll see you in the next video. Later, man.